So I'm very pleased to have Sarah for this week's Just One Quilt story, talking about a really special project called Siblings Together.
A friend of mine moved away from where I live and we did crafting together a lot. We used to do card crafting and all sorts of other crafting. And then out of the blue I said to her, "Oh, I've started quilting." And she said, "Funny enough, so have I." So, and she only lives an hour or so a drive away, and it's really lovely because she'll say, "Husband's going away this weekend." I said, "I'll pack my bag," and we will quilt together. But I've only been quilting 3 years probably. I think it was moving from quite disposable crafts, card making, card cutting, whatever, into something far more permanent. I mean, quilting is, once you've made a quilt, that's a permanent thing. That's somewhere in somebody's life all the time. Whereas a card is quite disposable, isn't it? So you might, be in a group of people and you would admit to them that you're a quilter. And believe it or not, there's a lot more people out there and they say, "Oh, so am I." And it's just lovely because somebody you've never met before, it's a connection. This quilt was born from an exhibition that a group are doing for Siblings Together, which is a charity who take children who are in care away on holiday with their siblings that they might not be living with because they're in care.
And then each sibling gets a quilt.
It's a quilt to take home.
And keep forever.
Yes, and sometimes in care they don't get to leave their care place, their placement they might be in, with anything other than pretty much their quilt and the clothes they're in.
To have that physical memento of
Yes.
that time you've had with your brother or your sister is a lovely thing, isn't it?
It is lovely. And they try and pair the quilts with the child, know what the child likes are, and possibly even so that they've got two quilts very similar, that each child's got a very similar one to their family. It would be lovely to have a bit of a story about their backgrounds, but their privacy is far more important than us knowing what we're giving to. Just knowing that somebody will appreciate what you've done in a different way to the way you appreciate it, to be honest with you. I mean, this particular quilt, it's not perfect, but life isn't perfect, is it? And it's such a little thing to do. It probably takes an hour a month to make a block that you send to somebody else who's going to put it into their quilt, and then once a year you might do the block and then they will come to you and they're right, that's a bit more work, but it's such little time using up scraps of fabric that would just sit in your box forever and ever, going to a really good cause. I actually have a pact with 3 friends that if I was to pass away suddenly one day, that they have to go in and clear my craft room. So one will take all my fabric, one gets my sewing machine, one gets all my other craft stuff. Because if my husband saw it all, I'd be in so much trouble even if I wasn't there. But that's, it's nice, it lightens the thought of that for one day. I'll have my quilt somewhere, I will be somewhere in somebody's memory.